Jyotirgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, may the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace.
In this devotional song, Sri Tulsidas Ji is earnestly praying to Lord Rama, who is ever so compassionate, who destroys sin and pain of this world, to grant him and save him the treasure of devotion.
I'm reading from the book Sri Ramakrishna and His Divine Play, chapter. This is by Swami Sharadananda and translated by Swami Chetanananda. The chapter is As a Guru and Sadhus of Various Orders. The Master told us, on a different occasion, another Ramite monk came. This man had overwhelming faith in God's name. He carried nothing with him but a water pot and a book. The book was his treasure. Every day he would worship it with flowers and from time to time would open it carefully. After I got to know him, I begged him to let me have a look at it. But when I opened the book, I found that on every page the same two words were written in bold red letters. Om Rama. He said to me, what is the use of reading many books? God is the origin of the Vedas, the Puranas, and the other scriptures. And there is no difference between him and his name. Therefore, whatever is written in the 4 Vedas, 18 Puranas, and other scriptures is contained in his name alone. So I am satisfied with that. That monk had such faith in God's name. The Master told us many stories about various Ramite monks. Sometimes he would sing bhajans to us that he had learned from these holy men. Here are some of the songs. O mind, you have not recognized my Rama. What then have you recognized? What then have you known? He is a sadhu who tastes the bliss of Rama's name. But what is he who tastes pleasures of the senses? He who delivers his dynasty from Rama, from Maya, is a true son. What good are the other sons? Another song. Sing the glory of Ramachandra, Lord of Sita, Chief of the Raghus and Prince of Ayodhya. There is no one else like him. Sweet are his smile and words, sweet his playful step. Beautiful are his face and large eyes, beautiful his nose, his arched eyebrows, the mark on his forehead adorned with saffron, shines like the morning sun, and with his dazzling earrings, he seems to be the god of love. The pearls in his necklace glitter like stars on his broad chest. They shine like the Ganga flowing down from the mountains. The hero of the Raghu dynasty is walking with his friends on the banks of the Sharayu river. Tulsidas looks at him with great joy and craves the dust of his feet. The Master used to sing these 2 songs, but unfortunately we have forgotten the rest of the lines. In this world, one who worships Rama truly lives. One truly lives who adores him. No one but Rama can save me. Sometimes the Master recited Hindi couplets that he had learned from the Ramite monks. He said, the monks always counseled that one should protect oneself from these 3 sins: theft, adultery, and falsehood. Again he said, listen to what Tulsidas has said in these couplets. Tulsidas stands as surety that God is realized by truthfulness, obedience, and absence of covetousness. Call Tulsidas a liar if God is not attained by practicing truthfulness and obedience and maintaining a filial attitude towards women. The Master continued, "Do you know what obedience is? It is humility. When one develops true humility, the ego is gone and one realizes God." A similar idea can be found in one of Kabir's songs. The Lord Rama is easily attained through worship, service and humility. Brother, cling joyfully to God.
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning, friends. Today, our subject is the story of Rama. Yesterday was celebrated Rama's birthday. It was the 9th day, Navami. And today is so close, so we have still the photographs and statues of Rama red and decorated. So it gives the sense of holiness, presence of Rama when we are talking about him. The story of Rama is mentioned in epic called Ramayana. And there are many Ramayanas. Almost so many languages in India, all major languages have Ramayana of their own. And of these two, of Tulsidas Ramayana that was mentioned in the reading is very popular in India. Because in that book, Rama is described as God. And Tulsidas as he was not only a poet, he was a saint, a devotee, a true devotee. And he writes and presents Rama as the Redeemer, as the refuge, as the ultimate truth in human form, presented so beautifully, and the life is depicted in such a wonderful manner that it inspires the people. Ramayana has been very binding, uniting, I think, of India, culturally and religiously uniting India divided in so many languages and culture and so many languages and customs. But what binds it together is this religion and culture. And Ramayana is one of the great factors that all are bound together through the story of Rama, thinking Rama as their own. This Ramayana, these are the later Ramayana, Tulsidas Ramayana. In south there is Kamban Ramayana. There have been Ramayana in all languages throughout India. But the original Ramayana, the first Ramayana, was in Sanskrit. And it was called, written by Valmiki. We know the story of Valmiki, who was a robber, highway robber, and how he changed to become a poet and a saint. That was Valmiki's transformation by the grace of course, a holy man. When one meets a holy man, real holy man, the transformation is likely to come if the time is right. Sajjana sangati rekha bhavati bhavarnava kshan. There is one verse in Shankaracharya's verse that even for a short time, if you have the association of a holy man, it will be like crossing the ocean of samsara. The Valmiki, the robber, was robbing wayfarers who were traveling on the road, walking on the road, and he used to take away everything. So one day he found one lone man coming, a holy man, Narada, great devotee of God. He thought he will also get something from him. He tied him on the forest and with the tree and said, whatever you have, give me. What he had, except the name of Narayana, the name of God in his tongue. He had nothing, and perhaps one string musical instrument. And that sage asked that Ratnakar, his name was Ratnakar, why are you doing this? And you are incurring sin by robbing people. And he said, I have to do this for livelihood, I have no other job. But you are having great sin. But I am doing for my family, it's not only for me. It's as a duty of a householder because I don't have other job, that's why I am doing. But who is going to share your sins? He said, why? All those who depend on me will share. My mother will share, my wife will share, my children will share, whatever is sin, because they all feed on this. He said, go and ask your family members whether they are ready to share your sins. Then he tightly Narada with the tree and say, go to my village and ask them and come back. Don't go away from here. Narada said, go. He goes and asks his relatives, mother, parents, and wife and children. None of them accept to share his sins. He said that the head of the family, earning member, it is your duty to feed us. How you feed us, it is all your responsibility, whether you do through good means or evil means. So his eyes open, comes back and accepts Narada as the Guru and says, please guide me. Narada now takes the responsibility of Ratnakara and he says, repeat the name of Rama. Rama was the name of God. It was perhaps before even our Dasaratha's son Rama was there, the name of God Rama was already in practice. Rama in fact means the joy. So he said, repeat the name Rama. He said, he couldn't repeat. His life was so impure, so sinful. He couldn't repeat the name of God. It was so pure and holy, it didn't fit there. So Narada thought what to do. He said, she tried it. He would not give up to this man who had to change. So he said, if Rama doesn't come to your tongue, then try to say Mara. So he said, Mara. He could repeat. They said, repeat Mara. So he said, Mara, Mara, Mara. So Rama, 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 it becomes. So he said, fine. You don't have to think anything. Repeat this Mara and meditate on divine. Doesn't know anything, just had very evil ways, but with determination, with vairagya coming, with the eyes being opened about the truth and for removal of all guilt and sin that he had done. Now rightly resolved, that's what Sri Krishna said in the Gita, apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhav. If someone has taken me as the Supreme Being, and whether he is sudurachara, very, very evil person, treat him as a holy man, as a good person, because he had rightly resolved. This Ratnakara, the robber, had rightly resolved. He sits in meditation, and so deep he goes into meditation. You see, all this, if you describe it as the meeting of a holy man, being inspired, being transformed, changing the ways, suddenly all comes under samskara. Perhaps he had to do that much evil work. After that, all was to be in a good way, but he was a very determined person. These robbers and all, they have one good quality, they have determination. They have that one way of going, just little change of the way towards good, and they can do miracles. They have that firm determination. With that determination, he sits for meditation and just sits there. For days go, weeks pass, months pass, he is there, sitting in that way. And it was a forest. Some white ants came and they found it was some dead thing, and they started putting their house, making their house out of clay, out of earth. And finally it was fully covered. And this ant, inside the anthill was a human being. As the sage was covered by the anthill, which is known in Sanskrit as Valmiki, the rishi, when the Ratnakar came out from the Valmiki, he became Valmiki. He was totally transformed, deep into meditation. And he was an unlettered person, illiterate, knew nothing. So after that, coming down from this deep samadhi, he goes to the forest and he finds one hunter was there, and there were two birds playing in the tree, branch of the tree, and hunter shoots one of the bird, and that bird falls down and rolls on the ground and dies. Another bird was just, its mate was just crying and sad. So much pain, this robber, you see how the transformation, robber he might have killed or robbed person, given trouble to so many persons, but when man transforms, you see how the goodness, just it has to come. Every evil person has good. That's what Swami Vivekananda said, the man who is going to gallows is perfect God. Who is most greatest criminal going to gallows, he is a God, because all goodness, all divinity is there hidden. If evil could be repressed, and that that goodness could be manifested, he is a perfect person. This Valmiki becomes very sad, and suddenly says to him, "O hunter," in the Sanskrit verse, he said, "O hunter, as you have killed one of these love-intoxicated birds, you will wander homeless all your long years." This was a curse. Now, this Valmiki was sad, and why did I curse this hunter? Though he did something wrong, why should I curse? So he was very sad and goes to the river nearby and sits in meditation. Was himself feeling bad. And deep in meditation, he had the vision of Brahma, and Brahma says, "Don't worry, this was the first verse produced." That's why it's called Adi Kavi. The first verse produced was that. Why did you kill one of the Krauncha bird? The name of the bird was Krauncha. So Brahma says, it's all done for good. Now you will compose poem, epic. You can write. And write the epic of the story of Rama. And it will do good, all people do good. And Narada meditates there and not. Now he goes to, after that he goes to, Valmiki goes to Narada. And Narada says to Narada, he says, "Can you tell me something about a great hero? O all-knowing Narada, tell me, who among the heroes of this world is the highest in virtue and wisdom?" Narada replies, "Rama is the hero that you ask for. Born in the solar dynasty, he is at present ruling Ayodhya. So write about him." So after that he starts writing about the story of Rama. Rama was contemporary of Valmiki. And Rama, how the story of Rama comes, what he describes in Ramayana is, there was a great king, Dasaratha, very virtuous and very brave king. He had everything, glory, victory, land. He was the king of Kosala, having his kingdom in Ayodhya. Now only one problem had this king. This king didn't have any children, no son for his successor. So nothing could work. He had 3 wives, no children. So one day he thinks of doing this yaga, great ritual, Putresti Yagya. And in that, he had to offer oblation to the fire, and with perfect mantras from the fire, someone will come and give some fruits. And when he was doing the thing, really a splendor, a very bright person comes from the fire at the end of the offering oblation and says, "This is the cup of payasam, and you take this and you feed to your wives, and God will come through, you will be born through their wombs." Now one bowl of payasam. What Dasaratha did, he fed half to Kaushalya, the first wife. And of the remaining half, he fed half to Kaikeyi, half to Sumitra. And the rest, he fed to Kaikeyi. And whatever was remaining after Kaikeyi ate the payasam, he fed again to Sumitra. So Sumitra had two sons, and Kaushalya had one, and Kaikeyi had one. From Kaikeyi was Bharata born, from Sumitra Lakshmana and Shatrughna, and from Kaushalya Rama was born. But all they were born of same age. Though 4 sons, they were of same age, similar age. Only their power was different. So there was a lot of joy, and the children started growing, and a lot of wonderful fraternity among them, so much. The Rama was so ideal person that all were very centered and very admiring to Rama. There was no sibling competition as we find nowadays. So there was all support to this elder brother who excelled in quality, because all were part of the divine. So divinity was there. When Rama was not at 16, he was still adolescent, one day one sage comes to Dasaratha. His name was Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra says, when Vishwamitra came, Dasaratha welcomed him and says, "Sage, I am very fortunate that you have come. Please ask me what I need to do. I am ready to obey your orders." So Vishwamitra says, "Please give me your son, Rama. I have to destroy some Rakshasas, some evil demons in the forest. They are disturbing my ritualistic practices." So this Vishwamitra had been a great king in the past. He renounced the kingdom and did lot of tapasya, and then had become a great rishi. Now king loved this Rama so much, he said, "I can't remain alive without Rama. Don't ask please this thing." Now Vishwamitra said, "You just give me the words, and you want to go back? And there is a tradition in your clan that you never go back upon the words. You always keep your promise. Raghukula riti sada chali aayi, prana jai, varu bachana na jai." Tulsidas writes in the Ramayana. So this is the tradition of this Raghu clan, where they will not give up words. Maybe they can give up their life. They will keep their words. Then Vasishtha, their Rajaguru, Dasaratha was there. "Please give Rama send Rama with Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra is great rishi. With Vishwamitra there will be no danger befalling on Rama. And send also Lakshmana." He was such a great warrior he had been. He had so many weapons, he could himself clear the demons. But he had come to you to ask for Rama to show the glory of Rama. Rama goes there and he destroys the demons. One of them demons was woman. Now, killing woman was not in the dharma, so that was difficulty. Then Vishwamitra explains, when anybody even does some evil, that was Tataka, that was very evil woman. So any person does wrong, so you should treat him not as a woman or anything. So then he's convinced and he said, his father had said, whatever Vishwamitra says, follow him. So he kills the Tataka and other Maricha, he throws to there, and Subhava he kills. And then Vishwamitra said there is one, a Swayamvara, when a girl chooses her own husband. There was the system of girl choosing her own husband. And it was Sita in the kingdom of Janaka, Mithila. What had happened there is the Janaka had a big bow It was very heavy, given to him by Shiva. So bow was so heavy that people couldn't even move it. It was so heavy. So the test of bravery was if one can move this bow given by Shiva. So many princes had come and they tried to move that. Nobody could move, nobody could lift that bow. But finally Rama came, he was a young lad, he came, took it and put the string and bow was broken. And Sita, he got married to Sita. This Rama and Sita, he came back home. After that, what happened? Everything was good, king became old, and now this Rama was so virtuous, Rama prince, the king wanted him to become the successor, make him the crown prince and give him the kingdom and retire. In the meantime, what happened, when all this was done, everyone was happy. You see, when there is all happiness, there might be some persons who might create problems. The life is not all joy, it's all not bed of roses, as they say, there are thorns. So one of the stepmothers who loved Rama very much, who was Bharata's mother, her attendant, her maid servant said to Kaikeyi, why are you so happy? Haven't you heard? Rama is going to be prince, he will become king, he will be the crown prince. So, but why are you happy for that? Your own Bharata will be deprived. What do you mean? You see how these things come. If you are a little irrational person, these things may crop up. It never had happened, but might be deep into subconscious that was there. Things from subconscious can come to the conscious level unless they are resolved there. And you are rejoicing, then you will be kicked away. Kausalya will be the queen of mother queen, and you will have no position. Then what do you mean? That's what two mantras he asked. Ask rather with the king that you want Bharat to be the king and Rama to go to the forest. Then Kaikeyi remembered that she had two boons from Dasaratha, two promises Dasaratha had given. He was very happy once in the battle. Kaikeyi had saved his life. He said, I'm so happy with you, ask for two things. So Kaikeyi said, now I have everything. If in time something needed, I will ask. But she didn't have any intention to ask. She had everything. She was so much loved by king. This time she remembered with all this one little thing coming, you see, selfishness comes and everything is entered. And then she asked to king make Bharata king and send Rama to forest. Dasaratha was so loved, he loved Rama so much like his heart. So he finally collapses. Rama gives the word. He said, Father, nobody in our clan has ever moved from the worst, so I will go to the forest. While going to the forest, Sita says, I will also go. Then Lakshmana says, I will also follow and protect you. So all three of them went. And first they had to cross the river. While crossing the river, they had to take a boat. Now Rama as the divine person was known by very few. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel that 12 rishis knew that he was a divine incarnation. All others thought that he was the son of Dasaratha, the king, the prince. So, but very few people who were not learned, they also knew. Like to Sri Ramakrishna also very few understood that he is incarnation or a great divine person. Bhairavi Brahmani knew, or after that many persons knew. But even illiterate person like Chinu Shankari, one who used to work with the conch shell, make the ornaments out of conch shell, he knew Sri Ramakrishna as divine being. He was in Kamarpukur. Another person who knew him, Sri Ramakrishna as divine person, was a sweeper, a illiterate, very poor, who used to just clean the toilets of the people. He knew his divine and asked for his grace, Rashik. Like that, here when he had to cross, the boatman, he said that, I will take you. Guhaka was his name. And he said, but before coming to my boat, you have to wash your feet. Why you have to wash your feet? He actually wanted to serve the Lord. And because he said, oh, I have heard that you touched some stone and that became a woman. There was some curse. One got cursed and she was turned into stone. And at that time it was, when she asked pardon, it was said that when God will incarnate as Rama and he will touch you with his feet, then you will become, again get a human life. So Rama had gone, he somehow stepped on that and that became a human being. That was known. So this Guhaka says, if you touch my boat with the dust of your feet, it may turn into woman or man, who knows? And this is the one who gives me earning. It's my profession. If it turns into a living human being, my everything will be gone. I cannot cross the boat. So I won't let you go like this. I have to wash your feet. But this was the story. He was a witty person. And then he washed Rama's feet with his heart's content. He knew Rama was divine, incarnation of God. He was a devotee. And after they cross, Rama says, please take the whatever is the charge. He says, no, I will not take money. Why won't you take money? It is a profession to people make you cross. He said, Rama, people don't take money from the people of same profession. A doctor will not charge another doctor. Say, how same profession? I am the prince of Ayodhya and you are a boatman just people making across the river. He said, yes, we are all of the same profession, we both are the same profession. I take the people across the river, you take the people across the ocean of samsara. So same profession, I can't take money from you. So you see how he knew about Rama. People know about divine beings, even the people who don't understand them. People are wise, not only reading the scriptures people can become wise. People are sometimes very wise. If you go to the villages, you will find so many wise people there, so much pure-hearted people there, even among the poor persons who live in as if ignorance, as if they don't understand. The God in us can reveal through any human being. Then we know that how Rama and Sita were abducted and Ravana took him. The purpose of Rama's advent, they say, is when God comes, as Sri Krishna said in the Gita, that God incarnates whenever there is evil in the society to establish the dharma, to establish the righteousness, and to destroy the evildoers. So this Ravana was a great problem. Ravana was a very intelligent man, strong, brave man, and he prayed to Brahma, the creator. Brahma is the one who creates all, good and evil. So he prayed to Brahma and lot of austerity and got a boon that he will not die of any human being, and any gods, yakshas, gandharvas, no celestial being can kill him. But he didn't ask about the human being because he was so brave, he never thought any human being can kill him. So God incarnated as the human being to destroy this Ravana who was creating a lot of trouble to good people, to devas. So purpose was that, and then Sita was abducted by Ravana. Then Rama comes and finds Sita is not there. Then he started searching Sita throughout India, wherever he was, in the forest. 14 years he had to live in the forest, it was almost the last year. Then finally, how to find? Then he had the friendship with Vanaras. Now, Vanaras are supposed to be monkeys, as it is depicted in Hanumanji we have, with the tail and monkey face with the human body. So it might be that they were the dwellers of the forest, tribal people, having such dress, and he met Hanuman there. Hanuman recognized him as God. And Hanuman took him to his ruler, who was Sugriv. Sugriv was in exile because of fight with his elder brother. And now he said, Rama, please help me. The Rama helped him and he supported Sugriv. Now after Sugriv became king, Bali was killed, then Sugriv accepted to send his forces, including Hanuman and other people of his army, to search Sita. Where to search? Someone said, the Jatayu was there, on bird had seen. So bird said, Ravana had taken him to Lanka. Now going to Lanka, which is present Sri Lanka, was very difficult. There was no bridge. Now still also there is no bridge. It's quite a long distance, a few kilometers, like 18 kilometers or so long. So there was no bridge. Now, how to know whether Sita is there or not? Now it went into Hanuman. Hanuman was supposed to go there. Now Hanuman was a brave being. He was a special divine power. So Hanuman, people said, Hanuman, you go to Lanka and find out whether there is Sita or not. And Hanuman said, how can I go? There is a big ocean in between, big stretch of water. Then they praised Hanuman. You are so great, you had gone to eat up sun. In his boyhood, he had gone to eat up red sun, rising sun. He thought some nice fruit, it might be red, ripe fruit, let me go and eat. So you are so brave, you can do many things. All that, when inspiration comes, you see, people can do many things. The human being has so much power. Only we need to be ignited, inspired, and the miracle can be done. Hanuman was inspired by his friends, and Hanuman jumped the ocean and went to Lanka. And he found Sita was there. And Sita gave him the ring of Rama, the proof, and Rama had taken the Rama's ring. Sita also gave, and Hanuman destroyed the Ravana's thing, and a lot of things was there, and then burned the Lanka, and then came back to Sri Rama. Then Rama had to go to cross the ocean. Now how to cross the ocean? Bridge had to be built. And who was had engineers? There were all these tribal people whom they call Vanaras, and Jambavan, and Sugriva, and Angad, and all those, Nala, Nila, all those are the architects of that Sugriva's kingdom. And they started how to do. They said that if they write the name of Rama, God's name on the stone, it will float. They started building bridge. While building bridge, all monkeys and bear and all people were there. There was one small animal, squirrel, the chipmunk. He was also found bringing some sand and putting that in the bridge. Big stones were being put by those big, these strong people, and squirrel was bringing little sand. Now it was said that he could do whatever was in his mind, and it was a great service. So how big thing we do is not important, with what intention we do, that is important. And Rama was so pleased that he put the chipmunk in his hand and blessed him with his fingers. That say, still they have the mark that Rama did, that there are 3 marks in the chipmunk's body, they say still. So that is the mythology saying. When they were throwing the stone, Rama thought, it is so much power in my name. And he also, quietly when nobody was seeing, he took one stone and put the name Rama, and he put there in the water. To his surprise, that stone sunk, it drowned. Then he was very sad. What happened? Everybody putting Rama's name is floating on, I put it, is drowning. Then he looked that somebody has seen or not. It's a very embarrassing situation. So he saw Hanuman was seeing what Rama was doing. Then Hanuman asked him, Hanuman, see what happened? Everybody is putting a stone, it is floating, and I am putting it in drown. Hanuman said, Lord, it will happen. When you put it will drown. When you let go something from your hand, it will drown. You have held on, then we survive. We remain. When you let go us, you throw us, we will be drowned. So when God holds us, we are in position. When God lets us go, we are finished, we are drowned. That's what this story was saying that. So Rama brought back Sita, and the Rameswaram temple was formed in the Shiva Linga. How Rama was devoted to Shiva, you see how this. And Shiva is to repeat the name of Rama. Shiva is incarnation of eternal incarnation. He was, there is no time of his birth. What he used to repeat? Rama. Rama was not born. So Rama was the name of God. Rama, like Om, is the name of God. Even before the Rama was born. So that name of God became embodied in the form of Rama, that Rama came. That's when Rama was given. Then he came back, and the kingdom was going well. What happened there? The system that time, see, he abducted, Ravana abducted Sita, but until Sita agreed, because Sita didn't agree to marry Ravana, Ravana never touched her. That was the dharma. Still, it is the Treta Yuga, you see. Still, it was the ancient times. That was there. Ravana is considered one of the white person and followed dharma like that. But the problem with Ravana was very arrogant, very egotistic, proud person, and all that because of pride. There There was downfall of Ravana. When Rama and Sita came back to Ayodhya, then there was some question, Sita lived so many years in other family, other place, Ravana took, how we believe in her purity and all that. It was already tested there. She jumped in the fire and came back more resplendent. But still people are saying, people are like that. Seeing this, Rama, one day thought, as his dharma of the king, he has to sacrifice his own dear wife. And she was asked to go to the forest where is his ashram, in Valmiki's ashram. And Rama was doing that. But Rama never got married. At that time there was a system of marrying more than one woman. His father himself had 3 wives, but Rama never got remarried. And king had to have wife for rituals, for other things. That was the system. So how would they do? So Rama said, no, I won't get married. His only love was Sita. So he made an idol of gold, and whenever it was required, he would put Sita on the side and do the rituals. That was Eka Patni Vrata, was the Rama's dharma. He was beyond the system of that prevalent during that time. Rama was that. So Rama is always considered as ideal person, ideal king. And he sacrificed, as he was a king, he had to sacrifice many things of a normal household that we think, why did he do that? Raja Dharma he had to follow, the rules of the king. What happened later, even he had to ask Lakshmana to go to the forest. Once Lakshmana was found hearing something in quiet, somebody was conversing, Rama was conversing with someone and nobody is supposed to listen to the private conversation. That was the rule. And whoever listened, he had to go out of the kingdom. Somehow Lakshmana came for that thing or what happened, he was there and he had to be asked to go out of the kingdom. So this big sacrifice, Lakshmana who was for him for 14 years like a shadow. Lakshmana was shadow. Lakshmana never slept for these 14 years. So that Lakshmana was also asked to go out of the kingdom to follow the dharma of the king. That's what we learn from the life of Rama, you see. That is important for us. Rama as the divine incarnation who will always remove our obstacle. Beautiful verse that Tulsidas wrote, Apadam apahartaram dataram sarva sampadam. O Rama, you remove all our difficulties, all our apadas, difficulties, problems, and you give sarva sampadam, you give us all the wealth. Loka bhiramam Sri Ramam. You are the joy of the world. Bhuyo namamyam. I bow down to you again and again. So that is one aspect of Sri Rama, the God incarnate. Sri Ramakrishna himself said, who was Rama and who was Krishna is Ramakrishna in this body. He said that. So Rama, some say it is mythology, Ramayana is just an epic, some say it is history, some say it is wonderful literature. But Ramayana is all together. So for the devotee, Rama is living. Many persons have seen Rama and how these Ramayana monks came to Sri Ramakrishna, and there was one Ram Lala, story of Ram Lala, we know how one monk used to come with a small idol of Rama, baby Rama, and he was always with that monk, and monk used to see that baby Rama living, and he came to Dakshineshwar. Somehow that baby Rama became fond of Sri Ramakrishna. Now to others it was just an idol, small image. For Sri Ramakrishna and that sadhaka, it was that Ram Lala's sadhaka, it was a living person. And Rama, then when that monk was to go, he said that Ram Lala said, no, I won't go, I live with Sri Ramakrishna. You see? And then to Ram Lala says, he is happy here, my Ishta is happy with you, I live in your care. And he leaves. Now Sri Ramakrishna, he lives a living person there, and he starts pranks, he goes to Ganga, he takes bath, and Sri Ramakrishna becomes angry, and sometimes he rebukes him, and sometimes he becomes sad. It's because all living. So Rama, in our case, is living to Sri Ramakrishna, to Sri Ramachandra devotees, is a living presence. It's not the history, it's not the mythology. It is Rama is living to his devotees, and is really, one could just feel the presence of Rama, or all the incarnations in that matter, Jesus or Buddha or Sri Ramakrishna, all are very living presence. That's what we want to do when we talk about Sri Rama, or when we do worship of Sri Rama. We try to feel the presence of the Divine, who is there to remove our impurities and who fills our heart with joy of purity and bliss. That's why the name Rama comes. When the name Rama was being given to this young boy, was born by Vasishtha, Dasaratha said, my son is a son of an emperor, of a great emperor, and you are giving such small name Rama? This would be a big name for a big would-be king of this huge kingdom. Then Vasishtha said, Rama is not an insignificant name, O Dasaratha. Rama, these two words are very important. The one word comes from Om Namo Narayanaya, that Ra comes from that, a big mantra of Vishnu, from which if you remove Ra, the meaning totally becomes opposite. Om Namo Nayanaya, I bow down to the world and worldly things. Another Ma comes from Om Namah Shivaya. When Ma is very important in that, and if you remove Ma from Om Namah Shivaya, it becomes Om Nah Shivaya. I adore inauspiciousness. So this Ma makes auspicious, Ma makes this God. So this both Ra and Ma are so important from these two traditions of Vishnu worship and Shiva worship, and they come together in Rama. The Rama, small name, but so much value it has. And it contains both. That's why Rama was so devoted to Shiva. Shiva and Vishnu are same. They all are all gods, all forms are same. So many stories they all go to tell that don't make distinction between the forms of God. All forms of God are the same. So today on this auspicious day we pray that Sri Ramachandra makes our heart pure, as Tulsidas prays that I want nothing, O Lord. May my mind be free from all worldly desire. Make it free from all worldly intentions and make it pure. That's the only our wish and prayer to Sri Rama. Thank you.